Welcome to our special analysis of the European champions of 2024. This year has witnessed thrilling battles in the most prestigious continental tournaments. From the epic UEFA Champions League final at Wembley to the exciting conclusions of the UEFA Europa League and UEFA Conference League, the teams have showcased their skills and delivered unforgettable moments. Today, we will review how Olympiacos, Atalanta, and Real Madrid emerged as champions in their respective competitions, exploring their journeys, key players, and the tactics that led them to glory. Olympiacos defeated Fiorentina in the UEFA Conference League final. Fiorentina lost their second consecutive Conference League final. Fiorentina was slightly superior to their opponent, but failed to score, and the substitutions made by Vincenzo Italiano were not successful. The best players for Fiorentina, in my opinion, were Martinez, Quarta, and Milenkovic, who supported the Italian team and neutralized El Kaabi, who ultimately scored the winning goal but was ineffective throughout the match. Perhaps the result does not reflect what was seen on the field, but in my prediction video, I mentioned that Olympiacos would play a smart and competitive game. José Luis Mendilibar's team knew how to wait for their moment and seized it. Mendilibar, who had already won the Europa League with Sevilla, lifted his second consecutive European title, this time with Olympiacos. Atalanta surprised the world by securing a victory against Bayer Leverkusen in the UEFA Europa League final. Bayer Leverkusen was clearly the favorite, coming into the match with an unbeaten streak of 51 games. But Atalanta deservedly won the final and was superior from start to finish. Xabi Alonso's initial game plan was not the right one. Starting with Adli at the front did not allow for long balls to escape the pressure from the Italian team. I believe starting with Boniface or even Borja Iglesias would have been more appropriate to have a reference point for long balls to relieve the pressure. Being the clear favorites worked against Bayer Leverkusen as they came out very complacent and overconfident, and by the time they started to play seriously, it was too late. Edmund Tapsoba and Piero Hincapi had serious problems with Ademola Lookman, who drove both of them crazy. Florian Wirtz and Alejandro Grimaldo were supposedly coming into the match with injuries, and certainly did not perform up to standard, being key players for Xabi Alonso's team. Ezequiel Palacios also had a disappointing match, and was partly at fault for the second goal, appearing disconnected. Gasperini was brave, fielding an offensive team and applying very high pressure that suffocated the German team, not allowing them to connect with their attackers. Ederson and Koopmeiners constantly pressed the German team along with the forwards. Even Ruggeri positioned himself very high up, leaving the left wing to Kolasinac. Ademola Lookman was the standout player of the match, scoring 3 goals. The same Ademola Lookman who took this great penalty in this final was Ronaldo Nazario. A well-deserved victory for Atalanta. Gasperini was tactically superior to Xabi Alonso. Real Madrid did it again. The Spanish team has now won 15 Champions Leagues. This time, they defeated Borussia Dortmund at Wembley. In the first half, Borussia Dortmund was superior, showing why they reached the final and even deserved to go into halftime with the lead, as they had the clearer chances, while Real Madrid struggled to recover the ball and build play. But in the second half, Borussia Dortmund appeared physically exhausted and could not maintain the pace they showed in the first half. Real Madrid began to grow into the game, scoring a header from Carvajal and a second goal from Vinicius Jr., capitalizing on a defensive error from the German team. Borussia Dortmund failed to take their chances, while we know that Real Madrid does not forgive. This also highlights the quality of the players in both teams. While Adeyemi missed a clear opportunity, Vinicius Jr. managed to score. Emre Can, dropping between the center-backs, allowed Ryerson and Maatsen to push up, and Sancho and Adeyemi to cut inside, causing problems for Real Madrid, who in the second half made defensive adjustments and improved their defensive application. Great performances from Kobel, Hummels, and Nico Schlotterbeck in defense, who supported Borussia Dortmund throughout the UEFA Champions League. Also, a great game from Sabitzer, covering a lot of ground. On Real Madrid's side, Carvajal had an excellent game, always performing in important matches. Valverde also played well, being the only one who seemed to play in the first half. Vinicius Jr. also had a great game, being practically the only one who generated danger for Real Madrid. Edin Terzic made a great game plan, finding Real Madrid's weaknesses. One half of the match belonged to each team. Real Madrid deservedly won because they took their chances, unlike Borussia Dortmund, who missed theirs. Thank you for joining us in this recap of the 2024 European champions. It has been a season full of emotions, surprises, and unforgettable moments that will go down in football history. Congratulations to Olympiacos, Atalanta, and Real Madrid for their impressive achievements. Don't forget to leave us your comments and predictions for the next season. See you in the next video, and until then, keep enjoying the best football in the world.